ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ BC ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ ਦੇ ਇੰਟਰਮ ਲੀਡਰ ਟਰੈਵਰ ਹਾਲਫਰਡ। ਆਓ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Mr. Halford, welcome to Radio Swift.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Halford, first off, congratulations. And also my question to you is, you've described yourself as a caretaker. Interim leader you are now, and then you're not running for permanent leader. What do you see your responsibilities during this interim period?
It's a really good question, and one that I've thought through over the last little bit. Really, it's about stability. It's about making sure our caucus is stable, making sure our party is stable, and making sure that this province knows that there's a government in waiting with the Conservative Party of BC. And I'm really excited. I'm excited about the people that are in our caucus, and I'm excited about the people that are going to be emerging to run for leader of this party, and I'm excited that that person is going to be the next premier of BC. So we've got a lot going on, and we're going to be up to the task.
Mr. Halford, you've said your priority is party stability, but what's your vision, let's say, over next 6 or 12 months?
Yeah, well, it's really not, and I mean this in all sincerity. It's not about my vision. My vision is to make sure that British Columbians know that the Conservative Party of British Columbia is the government in waiting. But really, the vision that we're going to see is going to be coming from leadership candidates. They're going to be putting policy forward. They're going to be having debates. They're going to be talking about how we're going to be growing our party and different things on how we're going to help get British Columbians back on better footing than they are right now. When you look at the fact is that we've got massive wait times right now at our emergency rooms at Surrey Memorial, Peace Arch Hospital, and my riding. We've got emergency rooms that are shutting down across this province. We've got a forestry sector that's in crisis. We've got a housing sector that's been in crisis. We've got the longest lines at the food bank that we've ever had before going into a Christmas season. So what I'm hearing from British Columbians, whether they're members of a political party or not, that they need change and they're desperate for change. And we want to make sure that we're giving them that alternative. And I know that we're doing that, and very excited about the days, the weeks, and the months ahead.
Mr. Halford, our expert Jenny Sims is with me. She has a few questions for you as well.
Good morning,
Sure.
Trevor.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a voice that I'm used to hearing in Victoria. Good to hear you, Jenny.
I don't know whether to say congratulations or to say good luck, so I will say both.
Okay.
The last few months have been very challenging for the Conservative Party. What brought the caucus to the point of, I would say, 20 members signing a letter asking for John Rustad to step aside?
Yeah, and Jenny, you've had the experience of being both in Ottawa and Victoria and serving in caucuses, and every caucus has their challenges. Unfortunately, ours was playing out in a very public way, which I don't think British Columbians want to see. They want to see us focused on holding the government to account, and I think really that's what it came down to. Is there's a lot that we need to be focused on, especially, and we are when we go back to our home ridings. And that was really it. And the fact is that, we know that we needed to move forward, and this was the best way to do that. And John acknowledged that yesterday, and it took a lot of grace for him to do that. And, it's really about the next chapter going forward. And I'm excited about that because, somebody like yourself, Jenny, who's served in opposition and served in government, knows how important it is to have an opposition that is focused on holding the government account and really giving British Columbians an alternative.
Absolutely agree. For our democracy to work, we need a strong opposition. And because we need the opposition to hold the government to account. But for our listeners, Trevor, can you explain what the leadership race is going to look like? Do you guys have a timeline? And how is it going to play out? How is the voting going to happen? How long do members have to have sign up? How long before you get a party leader that is not interim?
Great questions, and I those answers I don't have yet, and those answers aren't going to come from me. They're going to come from the party. I know that They were discussing this obviously yesterday, and there's going to be discussions in the days and weeks ahead of how that's going to look like. We have to remember the Conservative Party of BC is a very new party. And the name Conservative is not new at all, but the party itself that exists in BC is very new. So I think that we want to make sure that we get this right. Leadership races are critically important. It doesn't matter what party you belong to; they're vitally important on how the future of your party will look. And we want to make sure that this is done right. And I know that we're going to have great people in place that are going to be running this. And I also know that we're going to have great candidates step forward. So I would expect that in the near future, the party will communicate out some form of timelines and things like that. I don't expect that that's going to be in the coming days, but I do suspect, they will be putting forward something out to at least let British Columbians know how this process will begin.
Trevor, you know that the legislature is never boring. It's
Yep.
always interesting. But I think certainly the way events played out on the very last day did throw a lot of stuff up in the air. And John Rustad has now stepped aside. You are the interim leader. So what is your first and foremost priority as a newly minted interim leader?
Well, there's two. The first one is stability, and I really want to make sure that the party, the caucus, that we're stabilized. And then Ginny, you and I have sat across from each other in legislature. I really don't hold back, and I'm not going to. I need to make sure that our caucus is led by in a way where they know that we need to hold this government to an account. And that's exactly what I'll be doing when I step forward in that house. And that's not going to change. I think I've done that from the beginning of when I came into this building, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I'm going to make sure my colleagues are right there beside me doing that as well.
Your caucus, more than any I have seen in recent history, has a very, very diverse group of people. I would say come from a very large tent. And how are you going to corral them?
Yeah, so my view on this has been, and it's probably very similar to others, is that I don't think in terms of left or right politics. I think in terms of right and wrong. And I've really kind of driven that message I've driven that even before I took on this role, is that, we really have to focus on the issues that are so important to British Columbians, whether it's the emergency room shutdowns, whether it's the closures we're seeing in forestry right now, right at Christmas time. We've got members that are going back to their ridings where over 300 people have overnight lost their employment. How are they going to put gifts under the tree for their kids? Those are the issues that people want us to be focused on and holding this government to account, and that's going to be my absolute priority.
The legislature is not returning now for a couple of months because this is the Christmas season. And so you will be out in your ridings, your caucus members. And with such a diverse group, I know you're going to have challenges, and I think you know that too. But my next question is John Rustad. John Rustad brought the party from almost nowhere to almost being in government. And right now, he has stepped aside, I would say graciously at the end. It took a long time. But how is the caucus going to function with having him sitting in the caucus as an MLA? What challenges is that going to put in front of you, Trevor?
I think we're going to function well. Listen, John has been an MLA for over 20 years. And so the experience that he has is vast, and I absolutely take him at his word that he wants to be collaborative and be a part of our caucus, and I encourage that, and I absolutely respect that. I'd rather have somebody in our tent than outside of it, and that's where our focus is going to be. And we're making that transition now, and I fully welcome it.
Okay, my next question to you, Trevor, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you on your very
That's okay.
first, second
I
day.
wouldn't expect anything less, Ginny. So it's
I
good.
knew. So you've already had the Conservative Party, a number of members who left and have formed their own party, and then a few who are sitting as independents.
Yep.
Are you going to be taking steps to bring them back into the fold? Bring them back home? Is that your goal?
Yeah, I'm getting that question a lot, and it's a fair question. And my answer to that is that's not a decision I'm going to be making independently. It's not, I understand I'm the leader of the opposition. I'm the leader of the Conservative Party of BC, but I'm very alive to the fact that there's an interim that starts before both of those titles. So for me, those are conversations that are going to happen with caucus. You will not be seeing any decisions like that being made independently by me out of this office. And, we're going to be having some very important conversations in the very near future here as a group on how we move forward. And I imagine that those topics will be in there as well.
Trevor, this is a question that has been out there. Has Kevin Falcon played any role in this?
Absolutely not. No. I think Kevin has enjoyed taking a step back from politics, and he's enjoyed focusing his time on being a dad to two beautiful girls. And I think that's his number one priority. I think politics is pretty far down the list of where Kevin's thoughts are right now.
Thank you for your very forthright answers, Trevor. I didn't expect anything less.
All right, you too, Ginny. I'll see you on the promenade.
Yes.
Thank you.